So the Sixers season is most likely going to be over in the next couple weeks because the schedule is absolutely brutal and the Sixers are 15 and 22, 2 games out of the 10th seed. They're not even in the in-season tournament. And looking at these teams, I just don't see Atlanta going that much under 500. I don't see Detroit. I think Detroit is probably going to be fighting for the 6th seed. The Miami Heat, they've been really finding their way recently, even without Jimmy Butler. And if they do make a Jimmy Butler trade eventually, they're going to get some valuable pieces back, and maybe they'll be even better than what they are now. Who knows? I don't think the Miami Heat are all of a sudden, just because Jimmy Butler is doing Jimmy Butler things, I don't think Spo or any of their players is going to give up on that season. Like, I don't see them dropping under 500. And that's the scary thing for the Sixers right now is these 3 teams, I have faith in them to stay above 500 or close to 500. Chicago Bulls, I think they're going to eventually trade Zach LaVine, so that's going to be tough for them. I think we can get over the Chicago Bulls. But my goodness, with the way the Sixers are playing, with the way the season has gone, I mean, they're 4 and 20 versus above 500 teams. The only way they win games is by playing trash competition. Below 500 teams, 11 and 2. And obviously health is a big issue for the Sixers. So who knows when they're going to be fully healthy. So, I mean, this season's looking over because you go to the schedule, you got the Oklahoma City Thunder. Let's go take a look at where they're at. 32 and 6, top of the Western Conference. Versus above 500 competition, 21 and 5. Versus below 500 competition, they only lost 1 game. So the Sixers are most likely losing that game. They're most likely not going to have Joel Embiid. And it's a back-to-back, January 15th, 14th. So one of the games Joel Embiid's missing, he might miss both of those games. And then you got the New York Knicks on a back-to-back. That's going to be tough. Let's go to the New York Knicks. Where are they? 26 and 14. Another above 500 team. We can't beat above 500 competition. Now, the Knicks have been struggling versus good teams, but what are they really good at? They're just like the Sixers. They're really good at beating bottom feeders of the NBA. So most likely, the Sixers are going to lose that game as well. So now we got Indiana, and this is a team that was struggling in the beginning of the year, but man, oh man, they have been cooking lately. They were near us at one point, but as you can see, they got their season together, 22 and 18. They just blew out the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're playing them again, maybe tonight or tomorrow, so it's going to be interesting to see if Cleveland gets their get back, but Indiana doing a great job. Now, they are a team that maybe you can upset because versus below 500 competition, 8 and 7, and they're pretty decent against above 500 competition as well. But that's going to be a tough game, and that's in Indiana. And also, the Sixers have beat the Pacers this year, so you know they're going to want to get some revenge. And not only that, it's another back-to-back scenario versus the Milwaukee Bucks. This is a road trip, and Milwaukee, I feel like it's just always a bad matchup for the Sixers. The Sixers, especially without Joel Embiid, just too small. Giannis is going to cook. Damian Lillard always cooks against us. And it's another situation where Milwaukee's 20 and 17, 9 and 10 versus above 500 teams, but they're good against below 500 competition. So I don't see a win in sight if I'm being real. And then we got the Denver Nuggets, and I'm sure Joel Embiid's going to play because he wants to show up against Jokic. I guarantee you he'll probably play, but who knows if he's going to play any other game. It just seems like, I don't know. Well, it is in Denver, so he's probably not going to play. But Denver, they've had an up and down season, but they're 23 and 15, and versus above 500 teams, 14 and 11. And once again, versus below 500 teams, they eat against bottom feeders, 9 and 4. That's looking like an L, especially since it's in Denver. So Joel Embiid's not going to play. If it was in Philly, he would probably play, knowing the history behind that. However, we got the Cleveland Cavaliers, January 24th, and we know what the Cavs are doing. 33 and 5, unbelievable. They are undefeated versus above 500 competition. This schedule is brutal. I don't see a win in sight. Chicago, this is the Sixers' chance to get a win, but we're potentially looking at a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a 6-game losing streak if the Sixers don't get their act together and don't get healthy. I mean, this is the season right here. This stretch of games is the season. If they go 0 of 6 or 1 in 5, you're looking at the Sixers tanking and selling at the deadline. And believe me, it's not over. You got the Los Angeles Lakers, who are solid. Sacramento Kings are on a roll recently. And then you got Denver once again. So what I want you guys to do is comment below what you think their record is going to be over this 10-game stretch. But knowing how weird the Sixers are, they're probably going to have a good stretch of games. Joel Embiid's going to be healthy, and they're going to just reel us back in again. I guarantee it. Just to, give us some hope so we can fall back on our face and get destroyed.